Well, hello, friends, and welcome to The Master Gesture, a podcast about Broadway musical gossip and news and all-out fandom. My name is Wes, and I will be your guide today as we discuss the next topic on June 18th, 2021. Today, we're going to talk about the one and only Jonathan Larson and his impact on the Broadway theater, and also with the release of Revolution Rent on HBO Max, which is a show, a movie that's on HBO about a staging of Rent in Cuba. So sit back, enjoy the conversation, and let's deep dive. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. So before we get into Revolution Rent, I want to talk about the original Broadway cast recording, 1996, or the original Broadway cast itself, and how much of an impact that's had on me as a young gay man growing up, and how it still today resonates with so many people with its story. So just to kind of go back in time to talk about Rent in my life, when I was in high school and before I came out to anybody, I got involved in the theater, and I fell in with some people who were doing some community theater, and I think at the time I was either auditioning for Taming of the Shrew, or I was already in it, and a young lady would take me back and forth from home to rehearsal, and it was only like a 10-minute drive, but she was telling me about a show called Rent, and how this show was everything. Now, this was probably 8 years after the show came out, so it wasn't something new. And when I listened to it, I was just blown away by the storytelling. I think that's the first thing, if I look back on Rent, that was the first thing I can remember is the story about these people who weren't perfect, and they were struggling, and something about that really resonated with me. And I would listen to the album. I don't think it was a double CD. The disc was red. I still remember it to this day. I actually still have that cast album, and I remember going track by track and just being obsessed with the character Mark, because I wanted to be Mark so bad. I wanted to be a filmmaker, wanted to be on Broadway. I wanted to live that quote unquote bohemian life, which a lot of us, when we listen to that is like the quintessential feeling of making it in New York City, in a sense. Well, that was how it was for me and my friends at the time. So Rent became this thing that was between only a couple of us, and it was talking about topics that I've never heard uttered in any type of way. We talked about HIV, gay couples, just people just trying to make it in the world, and it resonates to me to this day. And I have this like fascination with Anthony Rapp and Adam Pascal, and even to this day, I always go back and think about that, about how, in a sense, that was my coming of age, was with that album, which led to me to kind of further this conversation as we talk about Jonathan Larson and his impact. It brought me to other shows, Tick, Tick, Boom, and which is coming out in a film directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it's starring Andrew Garfield, and I'm just really excited about the storytelling, and finally somebody's able to tell Jonathan's story and his creativity, because he truly was taken way too soon. An artist who was creating something that was different and paving his way for his own legacy. And I think for somebody who in so many years created a lasting legacy, and that can only be done through art, in my opinion, that affects people to their core their whole entire life. So I think that's why, what is it, 25 years later? I could be wrong. My math could be way wrong. We can bring something like Rent to a country like Cuba and it still speak volumes for the message of living in uncertain times with different personalities, with pandemics. I mean, there's just so much to speak to that existence. And I'm really excited to check it out because what really draws me to this idea of Revolution Rent is that they're local actors. It's not people they've flown in. It's not a bunch of celebrities. It's real people and local people who are telling the story. And what's great about musicals and what's great about art in itself when it comes to culture in different cultures is that every time it's done outside in a different culture, there's some sort of difference that really speaks volumes to that culture. There's something that's injected into that that's so refreshing. It's like seeing Wicked, the Japanese cast recording. It's different. There's something different about it. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's different. It's refreshing. It's new. It's like the billion Les Mis things we see. There's concert versions, there's this version, there's that version. But to me, there's something that's brought to every single one of those productions. So which brings me back to Jonathan Larson and the story of his life and how cut short Jonathan's life was. And I think we can learn that from that experience that we are not always guaranteed tomorrow. And this is not like a kind of podcast, but it's, I think utilize the time we're given and you can make such a big impact. And I think sometimes we forget that we are able to make such a huge impact in a short amount of time, and you can change somebody's life as you go through day to day. So tick, tick, boom. Couple things. I'm excited about the movie. I really am. I'm really excited, but I hope we didn't turn it into this poppy, I don't want it to come off High School Musical-ish. Not that it would. I think the music's a lot different. I think the story itself won't lend to that, but I hope we didn't turn it into something that it was meant not to be. And can I speak truly what Jonathan, as he wrote that, it's an autobiography about his life. I think it's similar to Rant in a sense that it's about people trying to make it and utilize the situations that they're given to create spectacular art. And I have to go, and when I think about Tick, Tick, Boom, I think about the wordplay or the lyrics. And there's a song that I just absolutely love in the show, and it's when the character Jonathan is at the piano and he's talking about his best friend Mike. And the song's called Why. For copyright reasons, obviously I cannot play the music on here because I do post this all over the intranet and on YouTube, and I don't want to get flagged. But go check it out. It's called Why. And it's basically 3 stages in Jonathan's life about his introduction into music. And there's a line in it where he talks about doing it over and over and over again. And that, to me, what that speaks to is that practice makes perfect, but practice makes consistency, and it makes someone hone their craft. You can't do anything. It just doesn't come. I mean, there are some people who are naturally talented, right? I mean, let's be honest, but it takes practice as we go through our life to create magical moments. And just listen to the song Why, W-H-Y, on the Tick, Tick, Boom original cast recording. Raul Esparza, I think, and I cannot remember the other two. I want to say Jerry Dixon. Ooh, don't throw rocks at me if I'm wrong. I think it's Jerry Dixon. It plays Michael. And I cannot remember the young lady's name who plays the other character. But Therapy, great song. If you know anything about the show, it's done a lot on duets. And I've seen some people do it as audition songs because of some of the difficulty it is with some of the wording and some of that. So yeah, Tick, Tick, Boom. Really excited about that. Andrew Garfield, who's kind of emerged as this, like, I don't know. I feel like when he did Angels in America, that he fell into this stage performer role. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I like him. But is he going to be able to pull this off? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You know, it kind of goes into, I don't want to go into another show. I'm going to stick to Jonathan, but Ben Platt and Dear Evan Hansen. Is he going to be able to pull it off? And which we all know that answer. It's going to be an absolute yes. Absolute yes, I think so. I mean, you can quote me. Feel pretty good about it. I think it's going to get attacked by the media, but what's not attacked by the media? That it's not the same as the Broadway show. You can't go wrong with Pasek and Paul. I'm a huge Pasek and Paul fan, but I'm going off on a tangent. But what I don't like about Pasek and Paul is A Christmas Story, and people think I'm nuts, but I'm not a big fan. I think that's Pasek and Paul. Oh my gosh, I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, whatever. Anyways, I don't like the show. A Christmas Story, the musical. It's like Elf the musical. Can do without it. To be honest, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, I can do without. What's up with me? What is going on with me in Christmas musicals? You know, oh wow. It's like, not to get off the subject of Rent, but jukebox musicals. You know, my mom loves Jersey Boys. I like it too, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my God, look, they created Jersey Boys. Same thing with the Temptations show. You know, don't kill me. I don't know. It's just not my scene. I like creative. Well, I'm not saying those shows aren't creative. Oh my gosh, I'm shooting myself in the foot today. I'm not saying that's not creative. But I like original stories brought to the stage. I'm saying because I knew I just probably shot myself in the foot talking about how I don't like the Temptations musical. But I do like the Tina Turner musical. And I do like the Donna Summer musical. Probably because I love Donna Summer. Absolutely obsessed with Donna Summer. And if you didn't know, Donna Summer sang White Boys in German on one of her albums from the musical Hair. Check it out. It's everything. Absolute everything. So we went from Jonathan Larson to Donna Summer singing in German. Oh, I hope this is not a precursor of how this whole thing's going to turn out. But anyway, Jonathan Larson and Rent. So, a couple things about Rent. Did not like the Chris Columbus movie. I know a lot of people grew up on it that are probably listening to this, but I did not like the movie. I did not like Adam Pascal with long hair. Yeah, I'm nitpicking here. I'm really nitpicking here. But what I did like about the movie, obviously, when we do bring stuff that I grew up on and love, like In the Heights, which we talked about in the first episode, I like to see things that I love to be on the big screen. Now, as far as execution goes, I mean, we can sit here and nitpick. The Tango Maureen scene, did not like the falling. I did not like all that. But hey, who am I? Just some guy bitching in the Midwest. But anyways, Tick, Tick, Boom. Really, really looking forward to Tick, Tick, Boom. And I'm really looking forward to Revolution Rent on HBO Max. I hope I'm saying that right. Please don't fry me up. So, drop your opinions. Send me a message. Let me know what you think. Jonathan Larson, what is your favorite moments from the shows of Jonathan Larson? From some of his works. You can check him out. You can go on YouTube and check out a lot of great stuff about Jonathan Larson. There's some interviews with his parents that are just absolutely amazing. And just to learn a little bit about his life and how Rent, the original Broadway show, got started and how he passed away and just about his legacy. There's all kinds of information on the YouTube. So I would suggest to go check it out if you probably have already seen it, if you're listening to me talk about it. But yeah, I'm super excited to kind of see where we go from a show perspective on the Master Gesture about what we're going to talk about, because it's very freeform. I'm doing this very, very, very freeform because this is how I am with friends and family, and just, to talk about. I think my husband's sick of me giving him strange Broadway facts in the car, like, oh, so and so, so and so, so and so, so. So might as well just get on here and talk to you guys and get called out for saying things wrong. And I'm going to love absolutely every minute of the drama. All right, friends, not really gossipy today, more opinionated. And check out Revolution Rent. Looks so good. Looks so good, so good, so good. All right, friends, it's about that time. I will see you guys on the next episode. So this podcast is on Anchor.fm, which will soon be on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and some of the other podcasts platforms out there. There's also going to be a YouTube version. This is not fancy videos or nothing like that. I'm just literally recording me talking, just for people on the YouTube channel to listen to the podcast and get the same information, to interact, because sometimes it is a little easier to interact on YouTube than it is on Anchor. So I'm really excited. Please subscribe on iTunes. Please subscribe on Spotify, or however you get your podcasts. And let's interact. Let's have some fun, and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.